Hello, everybody. This is Luis Vargas-Aboita. I'm the Holographic Anatomy Technologist here at MSOM, and I'm coming out with this new 2026 video for our accepted students who are going to be here for our Accepted Students Day. I know I made one last year, but the app has improved significantly, and I want to show you some cool new things that you'll be able to do when you get to be here in our labs, in our sessions, doing virtual anatomy. And by the time you get here, you might see something even better and more advanced as this application, HoloAnatomy.Next, continues to improve for their users. So you might be thinking, where am I? Am I in the lab? No, you're in the storage space where I keep Max over here and some of our other anatomical models back there. You can see these are some of the other tools we will be using in our labs to kind of help you understand some of these anatomical structures and how they work in conjunction together. So let's show you the first part, which is our first slide, giving you a preview of everything this application has to offer, from the full anatomy you can see here to the motion anatomy is what we call it, and then even the neuroanatomy application here. So this will be your pre-lab video because I want to create this sort of experience as if you were gonna be coming to lab for one of our sessions. So this video will be short and sweet, and when you get here in person, I'll give you one of these and you'll jump into a headset and do this session with me and with your future classmates. So here's your pointer, your 3D pointer. You'll use this in lab to kind of work with your group. But let's go through what I have for this session. So here's my menu. Some of you will not have this if you're joining a session, but when you're here and you're with your group, you will have access to this menu right there. The first slide, I'm gonna have some of you resize something like a skeleton over there. And let me show you what that looks like, just so you have an idea. Something like this. The movement, as you've seen, is grabbing, pinching, really exaggerating it with one or two hands, and by either kind of rotating your wrist, pronating, supinating, you can move this hologram in whatever way you need so you can get a clear picture of something like the cranial sutures, right? Maybe you want to see a coronal view of the sphenoid, you can, just like that. And then when you're done, you kind of let go like that. And you can do this from afar, or you can do it up close. I always say do it as if it were really there because the accuracy of the movement is way better than doing it from far and missing something. So with this activity, there's some instructions. In lab, you'll be given a protocol and you'll follow that on paper, and you'll go back and forth between what those steps have and what's shown on the hologram. So here you can see I'm asking you all to dissect a layer such as this one, or a system, and then place it where you think it belongs. So you'll be doing that and moving all these interactable boxes that are images or are holograms, and you'll be putting them in their region. Another activity here asks you to use that arrow to point to the heart chamber. You can also magnify something like a moving hologram, and here's pretty awesome. You can see that cardiac conduction, these valves opening and closing, the muscles helping with that contraction of the heart as it pumps blood out, right, out into the body and into the lungs right there. And here's an arrow where you would place what you think is the correct answer with that prompt there. Slide 3, then we start going into our systems. First system we're going to go over is skeletal system. You can always pause this video to see what we have here, and we also have questions for you all to answer like we do in lab. Sometimes we'll have the questions to the side so it's not in your view, but we also try to put questions on into Dash so you can select the questions and get live feedback as you go, and we like to say that towards the end. So this slide will show you the most important high yield concepts for a system or for a region, because it's more regional anatomy. And then towards the end is where you review those with your team and have more questions. Next, we go into the muscular system with some questions there. Here you see some items are labeled, some are unlabeled that we'll use for either these questions there or for our quiz. Or these labels are going to be for this question, since we have other questions at the end of our video. Here we go. Then we get into cardiopulmonary. You can see here we have our normal size person. We try to keep a normal size model and then something larger, because something like the heart is really hard to see when you have to kind of dig in like that, right? But when you have it enlarged, you can really see all these muscles and all these connections. Here we have some more questions, an image, which will kind of help you maybe see another view of the heart, something like a cadaveric heart right there that's being labeled and that was dissected. And then we have a 3D image we imported to show you something like that kind of musculature or that septum is what this image is trying to show you with this 3D model. So it gives you the plane in which it was cut, and then it gives you some sort of 3D architecture of what's in the side of that that heart once it's cut. Then we have some questions right here. And the next one we'll go to is the nervous system. Some questions there. We go over the peripheral nerves there with the plexuses, right? And then we show you that spinal cord. And then in this region, we go over the cerebral hemispheres. You can remove these as you wish to see some of the labels and some that are unlabeled, because we ask about structures that are deeper. So you might need to dissect to really follow that label there. Very important. And you can see here we talk about just the hemispheres, but when you're here learning about a neuroanatomy, we will go over all these tracks. So we'll save that for the fun times that you're about to get into. Then we have our spinal cord cross section there and some more questions and activities. So this is what you'll be seeing as a student here, and I kind of want you to experience that while you're here with us at MSOM during that day, so you can kind of ask yourself, how do I feel with this technology? Am I comfortable with it? Can I learn with it? Is it so cool that I want to use it every day? Stuff like that. So here, again, some more dissection. It's a learned skill, I would say, to be able to kind of remove in this environment, but we spend some time here our first week with me and the team, helping you figure out how to move something like this into a region like that. So we have a lot of practice. We have our anatomists here who are helpful and also know how to use this and can, more importantly, help you with the anatomy, while I can help you with items like the tech, right? Okay, let's go to our next slide. We have the GI system, an image there to show you a different kind of an imaging style view, right? What it would look like in a cadaver, some more questions and activity perhaps, and then some more activities, just so that when you're looking at the holograms and looking at the structures, you can put those concepts and use some critical thinking to answer questions while you're in this space. Then we go over the lymphatic system. Very important, very hard to see with the cadaver, but here it's really detailed, really colored very nicely. And I know it might look small, but again, we can always resize to show you things like, these gastric lymphatics. We can always increase the size to show you that network, which is really nice and neat. Adding images really helps as well. And then the questions are always a plus to have in lab. We go into one of our last slides, which is the reproductive system, showing you the last system here. And then the best part of this will be our Kahoot. So when you get here, have your phone ready, 100% charged, get ready to have fun with the Kahoot. I'll be putting the Kahoot all over the screens and have everyone with me playing along. I'll have you guys look at this and kind of figure out what these structures are labeled as, and then we'll do the Kahoot together that asks about things like these structures, as well as some of the MSOM knowledge about the virtual anatomy lab, and then just giving you a preview of what to expect as a first and second year in their practical exams. This is the kind of imaging you get when we do our HoloAnatomy practicals. Items like this is what you'll see. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, pause and screenshot as much as you like. This video is for you to be prepared for what's to come and be excited. So again, it's Luis. We will see you here very soon. I'm so excited to have you in the lab, and you guys are going to have so much fun because I'm going to have so much fun. All right. Peace out, everybody.